Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Diana and this is Creativity Incorporated. I wanted to talk to you guys about this journal and why I think everybody should have one of these at home. Um, I didn't know how to name it, and my son called it generational journal, or I forgot the other word that I liked better than that one, but basically what it is a book that it talks about lives from people now and before as much as I can. And it talks about me, my childhood. Like, if I was to hand this book or die tomorrow, per se, and I would like my grandkids to know who I was, and my great grandkids, they can pick up this book and kind of know me. And it's kind of like, you're leaving like that ancestor, did he call it ancestry journal, something like that. Anyways, it's not just focused on that. There's a lot of my personality in here. I feel, well, there is a lot of my personality here. There's a lot of me and who I was, like talking to my future generations. So talks about family, talks about things that I did and stuff like that. And pictures when I was little. I don't have journals or pictures from when I was like maybe 9, 10 till I was like 15, 16. I have very limited amount of pictures just because, back then my mom was not into cameras. There was not a lot of camera access. Like, now we have cameras in our pockets. So pretty much what I have there in here. So yeah, let's walk through it real quick. You guys saw I made this journal in a video about, I think, a year ago. Yeah, maybe a year. I think it was a year. And I made the scrapbook to match it. So I'm gonna do this so that you guys can see it. This is soda cans that I turn into corners and velvet, and this is actually what is that cloth, that non-tearable cloth, craft cloth, I think it was called. Let me see, is that a better angle for you guys? These is I made it so I can interchange the signatures. I feel like, I think all of my journals, let me think correctly, I think all of my journals have the flexibility of the ability to change signatures, just because I need that flexibility. I've never changed any of them, but I still feel like I need it. Anywho, see, like, this is art, and art in the service to science. I saw that quote and I loved it. Things of my kids, like my daughter's New Year resolution is to be a better helper for my mom and my dad. Letters my husband sends me when he's out of town. Like, some stuff that I like, waffles, Mickey Mouse waffles. This is a collection of there was a backpack collection going on with Disney, and I collected it. This is my sin, confessing my sins and my addiction to Candy Crush. And I wrote here that I realized, now that I downloaded it again, I realized why I had deleted it in the first place. I'm in level like 2500 and I had deleted it because it consumed me so much, but I forgot to print this off. I pretty much just wrote about that. Wrote about, how my immigration from Mexico to here, my mom brought me here along with my brother when I was very young, and I was, talking about that here. And like my daughter and some of my favorite outfits and like little things that she does. Like when I drop her off at school, she says, "May God always be on your journey." Every day she says that. Anyways, my son, like little things that you know how we take pictures of our kids and they talk about, they capture a moment or a time, but I put pictures here that capture who he was. Like, you know, my son, he started writing his name since he was like little, like I'm talking about 3 or 4. And when he learned to write his name, he wrote it everywhere. Like my son's first 3D print test, you know, when he got his 3D printer, he's a big time maker. So this is him making his little saw. I shared this with you guys in a video, maybe 6 months ago. You know, he's been creating since he was little. Anyway, so, you know, but then there's also art like this one. I like giraffes, so I wanted to do a layout of giraffes. My other daughter, I have 2 daughters, 2 sons. So, you know, little neat notes that I find from my kids, little things about her, a poem that reminds me of her. These are things that I may have these pictures in the scrapbook, but then like together they say who she is, you know. Like I made this for her, so you know, it's no longer in the scrapbook. It's here because this is a folder. It's also like a portfolio of sorts, you know, because this is a drawing I made, but then I put pictures of them here. This is a sketch that I might finish, maybe not, because you know, this is in San Diego, and for those of you that live in San Diego, know of San Diego, they're remodeling it, so it's no longer looking like this. So I may have to like finish it off pictures. If you guys know, I made my Christmas tree out of an old book, and so this is it. This is the base that I used. It's a cast iron base and it's super heavy. But the packaging, I threw away the box because it completely fell apart, but the packaging was awesome and it was in French. And, you know, I wrote about it. But then I found this picture. My dad used to go and cut our Christmas tree. And I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't put this in a scrapbook because scrapbooks like a year, a process, you know? Here it captures a love for Christmas, a love for who I was or who I am, you know? Like a drawing, little collage thing or layout. This is a painting I did. My collection of Funko Pops, you know, I collect them. But I mostly collect Guillermo del Toro. And my newest collection is Walt Disney's, only Walt Disney's. There's 2 out right now, and then a 3rd one coming out. My oldest, look, my oldest with the monkey when he was a baby at the San Diego Zoo, and then now that he's older, now that he looks more like his monkey counterpart. And this is like little, I found this little thing that I remember I wrote, like little silly things he would do when he was little. Like this one, I think, oh, this one, see, we were driving out at night when my son asked me, Mom, do you pay bills for your car? I said, no, baby, I pay, you know, my car is paid in cash. And then, you know, you just pay insurance. And then I said, why, puppy? He said, well, the lights of the car are so bright, I thought you may want to pay electricity bill. You know, like only a little kid. Anyways, I keep those things here. I did this video too where my daughters and I went to the park. We painted the same picture, but then we drew the same picture, but each of us painted it differently, and we like ripped a piece of paper and we traded amongst each other. So in all our journals, we have kind of the same picture, but different parts of our journals, and we shared it with each other. And I just love this idea. I want to write about it. Maybe I should have wrote it right here. I think I'm going to write about it. I love mandragoras. I think that it's the most beautiful, fascinating plant out there. Poems that I found that I wrote when I was a little girl. Me when I was younger. Another poem. My first grandson, and I wrote about him and his name, his birthday. Fun fact, these are shoes. This is what I wrote right here. This shoes and this shoes are shoes that I saved from his dad. This is his dad. This kid right here. So see, he's carrying my second grandson. But in this page, I only wrote about the older brother of his. He took me to Disneyland here. But when he was a little kid, these were his shoes. Yes, I hoard some stuff too. I hoard it all. I made a post one time on YouTube, and it hit like 2,300. I thought it was cool because it's the first time I hit over 1,000 on a post about my studio and my craft studio here. I took pictures of my two oldest when they were little, and I developed it in a lab. You know, I did it myself, so I have those pictures here. Like, you know, if I scrapbook it, I feel like it would get lost in all the amounts of scrapbook. A poem that reflects me of how time goes so fast, you know, with them. If you guys don't know, I went to film school. I graduated as a film specialist. And so these are some of the films that I worked on. This is a little mock-up that I did for a stop motion picture. Here, these are sculptures I made out of clay. These are my previous studios, parts of my previous studios. These are this studio now, and this right here is from a previous studio. And I did a tour of this one maybe 2 years ago, if you're interested in looking at it. Me and my husband. My husband, he was little, and then now. And then this one, when he was like a teenager. And then I put two swallows, which was cute. And these are plants. He gives me like random plants too. This is me a couple years ago. See, these are like a few of the pictures I have from when I was younger. Then I have my report card, the only report card that I found, and it's all A's, so I keep it here. This one and this one's the same. My Sweet 16 right here. A drawing that I did when I was in high school. My great grandfather. Okay, so this is my oldest daughter, me pregnant of my second boy, my mom, my grandma, and this guy was married to my mom. Yes, this guy was married to him. So this is my mom's dad. Yes. See, and this is my grandma, great grandma. She came from Spain, pregnant of her, to Mexico. She had that Spain kind of accent, really heavy. It was really cool. I met her, and I remember her when I was a little girl. This is about my mom and who she was. And these are pictures that like my daughter like drew, and like I just put them around here. I'm working on my family tree here. And it's sketched right now because I like this side, but I don't like this side. But no matter how I think about it, you can't avoid it because it multiplies so much that like 2 turns into 4, then 4 turns into 8, then 8 to 16, and it's like you can only fit something that looks like this, you know, and then from here it turns into like all these little root looking branches, and it's like I don't know if I like it, but I have a lot of information already that I'm eager to put in there, so I may just go with it. My dad, he's Afro puff. Dude, this was a perm. Yes. My dad permed his afro. Oh my god, it's so funny. These are birds and drawings that I did. Well, I didn't draw the birds, but I put them from the book. My father-in-law, who passed away early this year. And then he met my dad. He went to where my dad lives in Mexico City. And he said, I want to meet him. So he met him at the airport. I thought it was super cute detail, but because he loves me so much. Well, he loved me so much. He gave me his only baby picture that he ever had, and I really felt special because of that. My my in-laws' wedding day in the 50s or something, this is their only picture, and they gave it to me, and you know, like, I can't scrapbook that. There's nowhere you would scrapbook that. So I feel like this generational, and I'm gonna write about them and the days they got married, where they got married, and stuff like that. My mother-in-law, her parents, he got a big, he was a jockey, and he got like a big, I think he got some kind of big race, and he is actually in the Hall of Fame in Baja California. So I want to take a picture of that and put that here. They come from a line of jockeys, so this is, I think, one of his kids. So my mother-in-law's brother, I think this is it. So this is like a, I don't know, tío-in-law or something, uncle-in-law. Then this is, no, I think this is her uncle, and this is her brother. This is her brother. I don't know, but they come from a long line of jockeys. So these are just two. I think there's 3 more that I want to put here, and I want to write about them and what, you know, their winnings and stuff like that. So I left these 2 pages because, you know, as you can imagine, there's a lot of research and gathering pictures and going to people's houses and, can I take pictures of your pictures? And it's like, you know, it's kind of weird. But anyways, I found, my husband came home with this flyer from a stove from 1893. Look at this detail on this stove. Man, it's so amazing. Anyway, so things that I'm preparing here to journal or use. I wanted to do a layout with my 2 daughters, and I think this was it. My son gave me this card, so it was supposed to be for your table, but I put it here, and I just plopped it in there. I haven't like journaled about it for Mother's Day. Another film that I developed. My grandma wrote me a couple of times, and I have them here, just tucked in there. I'm the only granddaughter that she ever wrote to, so I always felt special for it. My kids, me and my daughter. See, and then I wrote about the time that we went to and stuff. Just that moment, you know, who she is, and she's the one that wanted to take the picture. Our trip through California and the cities we want to go visit. These are all the cities, and I want to go see. I already have this one, and I think that one's coming up next month. And so these are sculptures. If you don't know, I also went to school for art, and I am a sculptor, and so I sculpted my husband, a creature, and and this is the inspiration of this creature. And I talk about that here. A drawing. I was fascinated with the Muppet Babies when I was a little girl, and these are actually stickers of mine when I was like 5. So I carry them through my whole life, and I've always cherished them. And you know, this is, I think, a perfect place. Now I have a collection of my toys when I was a little girl in my bookshelf over there, and I took a picture, and I think I want to put it right here. That's why I had painted around in color, but then I shift this over. I think that picture is going to go right here. And so I envision this Nani taking Fozzie to Disneyland, and he's my spirit animal right here for sure. I drew this. I saw a sticker, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. So I just drew the sticker on a cardboard, and I just glued it here. Let's see. Birthday cards that I get from my kids. Mother's Day cards that I find, you know, for later, that I've stored somewhere else just because I didn't put them in the scrapbook. And back then I used to scrapbook in the, you know, the 12 by 12 with the plastic pocket, and there was like no real access to them. So I have them here, and then I write about them, my husband and our little girl, how we painted her nails. See, these are drawings that she did when she was a little girl, but I look at the colors, so they go really good. These are my two little ones. Look at the teeth. The window. Isn't that the mist? I love those windows. Those are the best. They're the windows to my soul. And I think that's pretty much it. See, handprints. A couple of things that I need to do. I want to do, I usually do in all my books, but like, you know, the hand layouts and like outlines. And I want to do this with me, my husband, me, and like all the kids. I want to do it on one page. I know it's going to look crazy, but I want to do it, and I haven't done so yet. But I have a lot of papers still to do. I still want to write about grandparents. I'm going to go visit some people with mine that I'm going to hopefully get some pictures, so I have that more space here to write about them. I also wrote a little will, but I want to do more of a better will where, you know, if you send a letter to yourself, post date and all that stuff, never open it. And I think I want to glue it here and say my will, you know, so that they know what this, I mean, not that I have millions of dollars, but you know what I mean. A little McDonald's stuff. My other Funko stuff, a bathroom that my first renovation when I was a little, not little, I think I was like maybe 13, 14 when I did this, painted the bathroom walls, and I did them cloud, and I painted the cabinet, and I decorated, you know. Anyways, Disneyland stuff and stuff like that. So, you know, I don't know. It's an emotional journal. It's not a art journal. It's not a diary. It's not a junk journal. It's not a I don't know. It's not none of that. It's with the purpose of talking through generations, you know. It is a lot of me. It is hopefully I can capture more of my family and my husband's family and you know, my grandkids. And as you know, my oldest son had one, and my daughter got married last year. She's 20, and now she's pregnant with twins. So, you know, they're gonna be here. And it's not about filling up a scrapbook wise, but in the future, let's just say I die before they're born, or I die before they get to build relationship with me. They get to see what grandma taught, you know, was thinking about them, and like how much she loved them. And I'm going to write them a letter and write them how much they mean to me and stuff like that. And I think that's my goal with this. I'm leaving a little piece of me and, you know, gathering family, because I don't know nothing about my great-grandparents and none of that. And I imagine if I had one of these from my great-grandma, I would die. I would be like, oh my gosh, it's so interesting, like, to see who she was and what she did, and like her drawings, her passion, her, you know, what she felt about my mom or my great-grandma and stuff like that. I don't know. And I feel this is that. And I hope that this inspired you to maybe do this, you know, maybe create something like this, that it's like, if the house was burning, I think this is what, you know, you have to go out with, you know, you store it in a glass case, and you know, you put it under log and stuff like that. I think this is that, a generational journal. And you know, it has a lot of heart and thought into it. Well, thank you guys for walking with me through this journal. I'm not done with it, and maybe I can do another flip with it, but hopefully me sharing with you guys what I'm doing inspires you to want to do the same thing and make a journal that represents your generations, you know, from you before, or from you and after, from you. This is me. So like, if let's just say I lose my memory, you know, I can go through this. man, I just thought another reason why I should make one. You know? Thank you guys again for watching, for your for your thumbs ups, your likes, your subscriptions, your messages. They are really, really, really appreciated. Till next time, guys, stay safe, stay crafting. Bye.